Chapter 11. He told himself she was probably awake, curled somewhere with her books, plotting fresh new ways to drive him insane. That was the story he clung to. The lie he needed, because the truth was far more humiliating. He missed her, like an ache under the ribs he couldn't shake. This was never the plan. He was supposed to keep her in check, contain her, maintain the upper hand, not crave her, not memorize the exact sound of her laugh like a starving man memorizing the smell of bread, not remember how her hair curled around his fingers like it claimed him, and definitely not lie awake at night imagining her heavy with his children like some prideful, deranged, territorial bastard. Yet here he was, sitting in his trailer, half hard, half restless, whole damn mess, wondering how her skin would taste if he dragged his mouth down her spine and whispered her name against every vertebra. "Control yourself," he muttered, hitting the desk so hard his coffee trembled. But control was a myth around her, a fairy tale he no longer believed in. He lasted 10 minutes, 10 proud, stubborn, pointless minutes before grabbing his keys and driving home like a wolf scenting the only person who made him feel alive. The moment he stepped inside, the house breathed her. Every corner, every shadow, her lotion, her shampoo, the faint trace of her laughter lingering in the air. She haunted the place, haunted him. Her laptop blinked at him from the couch like it was snitching, but she wasn't in sight. Then he saw her outside, and for a rare second, Hawk forgot how to breathe. Barefoot in the garden, her dress white and soft and drifting around her like it worshipped her curves. The sunset caught her hair, turned her into fire, and something primal inside him bowed. He wanted her. God, he wanted her with a hunger that felt ancient. A butterfly landed on her hand, and she giggled. That tiny sound hit him harder than any bullet he'd ever taken. His knees nearly gave out. He wanted to kill the butterfly for touching her first. He remembered the taste of her shoulder the night he snapped. The way she trembled when his teeth marked her. The way her breath hitched like she didn't know whether she should run or climb him. He was a proud Cherokee warrior, a feared enforcer, a man other men respected from a distance. But for her, he was a creature made of longing. He should have been thinking about hostage protocols, strategy, boundaries. Instead, he found himself thinking about daughters with her curls and her stubbornness. Already dangerous territory, but his mind pushed further, imagining her carrying his children like he was some instinct-drunk alpha planning a dynasty. 10 daughters. The number hit him so hard he almost laughed. Little versions of her running this garden, running him, ruling the house with their mother's fire. He shook his head, a low groan in his chest. What kind of feared enforcer daydreamed about toddlers and newborns asleep on his shoulders? A man who had clearly, unmistakably lost control. He clenched his jaw, forcing some sense back into his body. She finally looked at him, hazel eyes catching the light like she was made of something too rare for a man like him.
"You're here,"
she said. "Did you cook?" he asked, voice roughened with things he would never admit. Because if he spoke anything else, it might be something reckless, something honest, something like, "I can't stay away from you." She rolled her eyes at him, and instead of irritation, his body tightened in that low, possessive way he could never quite tame. They moved to the kitchen without speaking. Alena's movements were sharp, precise, irritated. She opened the pot, served rice with the kind of aggression only she could make look delicate. She didn't give him a plate. He took one anyway. Silence stretched between them, thick and humming with unspoken things. Until he stepped behind her to reach for the soy sauce, his fingers grazing her waist. She stiffened.
Touch me again and I swear.
I'll do more than that, he murmured, voice low, with the longing that tormented him. Once you stop pretending you don't want me to. She shoved the ladle into his chest, but her cheeks were flush, and her hands, those stubborn hands, trembled. Hawk sat down at the table, every step heavy with restraint. He didn't push her, didn't crowd her, didn't say the things burning in his throat. But she stayed in, and that alone made the tension between them shift. Longing, pride, desire coiled tight. He wasn't done, and she wasn't running. They didn't speak as the dishes clattered into the sink, both of them pretending not to feel the sparks snapping in the silence. Hawk rinsed his plate with too much force, like the ceramic offended him. Alena wiped the counter with the determined fury of someone who refused to admit she was shaking. She slipped into the hallway without a word. Hawk let her walk. For now, 10 minutes. That was all his pride allowed before he went looking. He found her standing by the living room window, arms crossed, bathed in the last gold smear of twilight. The whole room held its breath around her. Hawk leaned on the door frame, arms folded, pretending every inch of him wasn't drawn to her. Door's open, sweetheart. If you hate me that much, run. Her spine went rigid, but she didn't turn. Not yet. The tension curled up her back like a live wire.
I'm not staying because I want to.
She whispered, too soft for someone trying to push him away. I know. You're staying for your brother's peace of mind. That's the deal, isn't it? Alena turned slightly, just enough for him to see the fire in her eyes. He pushed off the door frame, slow and steady. Closing the distance like gravity was doing the work for him. His smirk returned, sharp at the edges, dangerous in the middle. He stopped just a breath away, the air between them tight and hungry. His gaze slid down her cheeks, to her mouth, then lower, to the soft line of her neck. He leaned in, inhaling the scent of her skin. Every time you wear that perfume, he murmured, it sticks to my lungs like a warning or a prayer. Her hand lifted, maybe to shove him, maybe to do something worse. He caught her wrist gently, holding it between them. Her eyes fluttered shut. She didn't kiss him. He didn't move either. But the silence wrapped around them, thick and full of everything they refused to say. She broke it first, trying to regain her armor.
I'm just at the library if you're not done tormenting me.
She snapped. He froze. She actually dismissed him. His pride hated it. His heart, it went stupidly soft. She wasn't getting away tonight. Not after the nights he spent sneaking into her bed like a ghost with a crush. Not after holding her while she slept, whispering apologies against her hair for sins he hadn't committed yet. Hawk freshened up fast. A scrape echoed from the library office, a chair dragging across the floor. He followed the sound, quiet as breath. He opened the door, ready to catch her doing something reckless. And there she was, balanced on a chair, reaching for a book way too high, dress swaying, barefoot, hair messy from the sunset breeze. His lungs forgot their purpose. Good Lord, woman. Of course she was climbing furniture. Of course his princess hostage thought this was a great idea. He was going to lose his damn mind. And God help him, he was going to love every second of it.
Alena reached for the hardbound book on Hawk's study shelf like a princess grounded in her own tower. Modern-day Rapunzel, but make it sarcastic version. She pretended she wasn't excited to be here, pretending the Halama kidnapper didn't make her heartbeat trip every damn time he walked by. She flipped through an old book she barely understood, acting like the words meant anything. The laptop was quiet, her phone untouched. Para siyang nag-self-impose ng tech ban because God forbid she stalks Hawk's phone and finds another woman. Or worse, something that proved she wasn't the only one losing her mind. Pero the real question whispered in her head was simple. Ano bang kasalanan ko ako napunta sa possessive kidnapper na to? Ever since the night they crossed the line, Hawk had been confusing. Like an ex-con trying very hard to play Boy Scout. Breakfast cooked for her perfectly sweet hot chocolate. He'd snatch the mop away if she tried cleaning. He even washed her underwear, sweet, horrifying, illegal, and intimate all at once. But he was still Hawk. Commanding, bossy. This impossible mix of protector and captor in one body built to ruin a woman's self-control. Hard muscle, scarred skin, and those twilight eyes that made her thighs press together without permission. She hated herself for wanting him, for craving the rough scrape of his jaw on her skin, for aching at the memory of his mouth branding her neck. And worst of all, her heart fluttered every time she caught him watching her like she was something he couldn't look away from. Damn it, Alena. Princess ka ba o pick-me girl? Needing a distraction, she climbed onto a chair to reach a dusty book too high up. Because one more minute of pretending she wasn't thinking about him, and baka magpatalon na siya sa bintana. The chair wobbled. Her foot slipped. She fell, straight into strong, waiting arms. Of course he caught her. She landed squarely in Hawk's lap, the force sending them tumbling into the reading chair behind him. His grunt was low, hot, and far too amused. Silence. She was straddling him, her chest pressed against his, her skirt pushed dangerously high, and Hawk wasn't even shocked. He looked like a man getting exactly what he'd been praying for.
Well?
He said, voice rough as gravel.
Nice of you to drop in.
She glared, cheeks burning. You shouldn't sneak up on people.
You shouldn't climb shelves like a damn kitten in heat.
She shoved at him, but his hands stayed firm on her waist.
Don't even think about it.
He warned. I'm getting off.
Not yet, you're not.
Her eyes narrowed. Let me go.
Not until you stop pretending you don't like this.
She scoffed and squirmed. Mistake. Big mistake. She felt it. Hard. Heavy. Very aware of her. You're disgusting.
You're warm?
He murmured, lips brushing her ear.
Soft. And soaking my jeans.
Her gasp betrayed her. Get off, she hissed. More breath than threat now.
You first,
he said, voice dropping darker.
If you can stand up without moaning, I'll let you go.
She froze, didn't move, because he was right, and they both knew it. Alena's lips parted, breath uneven, eyes flicking anywhere but his. Stop looking at me like that, she whispered.
Like what?
He said, heat sliding through his tone.
Like you're the match and I'm begging to get burned?
Her cheeks flamed. I'm not some conquest you can throw around. His jaw ticked.
I never said you were.
Then stop acting like you own me.
Funny,
he said slowly.
You keep saying that while straddling my lap.
She raised a hand to slap him. He caught her wrist mid-air.
Try it,
he murmured.
I could use another excuse to pin you down.
Her voice cracked, raw, furious, trembling. I hate how you make me feel. His breath stilled. Something shifted behind his eyes.
Good. Because I fucking hate that I want you this bad.
Thunder formed between them. Heavy. Hungry. Her chest rose. His jaw clenched. You're impossible, she breathed. He leaned in, almost touching her lips.
I'm starving.
Alena's breath stuttered in her chest the moment Hawk's mouth claimed hers again. Hungry, certain, the kind of kiss that stole thought and backbone in one sweep. Every inch of her body answered him before her pride had a chance to protest. The chair creaked beneath them as he pulled her closer, her knees sliding to either side of his hips. His hands roamed up her spine, large and warm, sending shivers that melted straight down her belly. Her pulse hammered at her throat, each beat a quiet surrender. She shouldn't want this. She shouldn't want him. Yet here she was, leaning into him like he was the only thing keeping her upright. Hawk's lips descended to her jaw, tracing a path down to the curve of her neck. His breath was hot, a sinful promise she felt all the way to her toes. When he found her pulse, she gasped, soft, helpless, her fingers curling into his shirt.
Alena.
He murmured against her skin, voice rough enough to unravel her.
Do you hear yourself? You tremble every time I touch you.
Don't, she whispered, though her body betrayed her, arching instinctively. Don't talk like... But his hands were already slipping under her blouse, his touch slow, deliberate, reverent in a way that terrified her. The fabric lifted, cool air brushing her heated skin.
Like what?
He breathed.
Like I want you?
She shut her eyes, breath catching. Hawk. His thumb stroked her waist, gentle and possessive all at once.
Tell me to stop,
he said softly.
One word and I will.
The tragedy was she couldn't. Her mouth refused. Her heart betrayed her. He kissed her again, slower this time, deep enough to make her toes curl. Alena clung to him, desperate for something solid, as warmth blossomed through her limbs. His hands lifted her blouse higher, exposing skin he traced with maddening patience. She shivered when he breathed her name like a prayer.
Beautiful,
he said, voice trembling with restrained hunger.
You're driving me insane.
Her own hands moved without permission, sliding up his shoulders, clutching the back of his neck as if bracing for a fall. He lifted her in one fluid motion, her back meeting the desk behind him, papers scattered to the floor, forgotten. Her dress bunched around her thighs, his palms settling at her hips like he'd claimed the right. His forehead pressed to hers, breath tangling.
Look at me.
She did, and the world narrowed to the fire in his eyes.
You're mine,
Hawk said softly, fiercely, as if the words were pulled from the deepest part of him.
Not because I took you, not because I can keep you, but because your body reaches for me before you even think.
Her breath shuddered out of her. You're wrong.
Am I?
His hand slid up her sides, coaxing her closer.
Tell me why you're shaking, then.
She couldn't answer, not with words. Her legs parted instinctively, her body rising to meet him before her mind caught up. His groan was low, devastating.
Alena.
He kissed her again, deeper, heat crashing through her. His hands explored slowly, reverently, as if learning her by memory. The world blurred. Books, shelves, the soft glow of the lamp, and the thrum of her heartbeat. When he finally pulled her against him, closer than before, she felt the promise in the way his muscles tightened, the way his breath hitched, an unspoken vow of everything he was about to give. Alena clutched at him, her voice breaking. Hawk, don't let me fall. His lips brushed her forehead, tender and rough.
Never.
The next moments were a blur of heat and breathless longing. His mouth on her skin, her fingers gripping his shoulders, their bodies moving in an urgent, desperate rhythm that stole the last of her fear. Then the world disappeared into a rush of sensation, shattering, overwhelming, a tide of pleasure that pulled her under with his name on her lips. Hawk held her through every trembling breath, every shiver, every surrender, and when the storm finally eased, he gathered her against his chest like she was something precious.
Alena.
He murmured, voice hoarse with emotion he didn't want to admit.
You have no idea what you do to me.